We are good. Hit me with the intro music. Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Beard and a Half Movie Reviews. I'm Garrett.
And I'm also Garrett.
Still not.
But people call me Tyler.
Yeah.
As well. That's
Definitely
one of my
Tyler.
stage names.
Yeah. This week, another audio-only episode.
Brought to you by MySpace.
Brought to you...
There's a space in between MySpace, and it's spelled M-I-S-P-A-C-E. MeSpace, really, is what it is.
Brought to you by, yes, my personal space that's located in my house.
It's actually brought to you by London Sticker's Bidet.
It is
The only sticker that licks you. It'll lick you right on the pooper.
There you go. Hey, whatever you're into, I guess.
It's like a breath of fresh air, strictly for your asshole.
Yeah. Okay.
Nice.
Unfortunately, we couldn't do a video episode this week due to work issues and stuff like that. We couldn't link up, but still getting the episode out there, even if we got to do it from different places. I got to move my mic.
Oh, dude, move that.
There we go. I had to move it over a little bit. I thought it was going to fall off the stand.
Give it a squeeze, Garrett.
Tyler, what movie did we do this week?
I honestly forgot the name of it.
It is
I
called...
think it's The City of D.
The Lost City. I don't know why
okay.
they didn't name the movie The Lost City of D, but they just named it The Lost City.
I'm pretty sure just for obvious reasons, they would have thought it was more of a pornography video.
Yeah, there's got to be a porno out there entitled The Lost City of D. There has to be.
I mean, I will open up a private browser real quick.
There's
window.
If there's
The
not,
Lost
I'm going to be very
City
surprised,
of
and
D.
it's got to be an upcoming movie that's coming.
You
out.
want me to? I'm gonna just throw XXX behind it and see what happens. I'll hit videos. Oh, watch The Lost City XXX. That exists. Okay.
Yeah.
That's as far as it goes.
Okay. Hey, that's good enough for me. So
It was gay porn, just in case anyone was wondering. So
That's okay. Yeah, I wasn't, but right on.
I mean, that's The Lost City.
Yeah, there you go. This movie is a Paramount Plus exclusive, if I'm not mistaken. It is, correct? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right?
Yeah. I mean, you can buy it elsewhere, but I mean, it's exclusively on there.
Oh, it says in
With-
theaters March 25th. Okay, so maybe...
I mean, so it's in theaters, but also you can still buy it like on Amazon or anywhere else.
Okay, well,
But
there we
you
go.
can watch it for free if you have a Paramount Plus exclusive membership.
I saw it on Paramount Plus, so that's where we saw it. This movie, like I said, it went to theaters March 25th of 2022. It's got a PG-13 rating and an hour and 52-minute runtime. This movie was directed by Adam Nee and Aaron Nee. N-E-E. Maybe it's Nay. I'm just going to go with that.
Nay.
This movie was it was like a loosely based on like a remake of another movie called Romancing the Stone, apparently. I've never seen this movie, but apparently it's pretty much the same thing, except for her, like, instead of Channing Tatum, it was Michael Douglas, and he was an actual badass. And a little bit different, but besides that, pretty much same storyline. And I don't think it was really a comedy, as far as
I would imagine not.
yeah.
Just before we get into anything else, just want to make sure that everybody is subscribed to our YouTube channel, as well as following us on our Instagram, Beard and a Half Movie Reviews, for both of those.
Oh yeah.
I hope also that you're listening to the podcast wherever you listen to podcasts, and that you're following us, because if you're not, I'm watching you.
You're missing out. Okay.
I'm
We
right
went in
behind
two
you.
different directions there. It's okay.
I can smell you.
Did you just like give him
I
a wet
can
willy?
smell you.
That's what it sounded like.
This is a little kiss.
Oh, okay.
Little kiss.
Just a little kiss on
Little
the
kiss
ear.
on the neck. Yeah,
Did you
just
subscribe?
it's like one of those untender kisses on the neck, and then walk away real awkwardly.
That's a weird one.
Could be a thing.
All right, this movie. Let's look at the cast. So it's starring Sandra Bullock as Loretta Sage. We have Channing Tatum as Alan. Don't remember his last name. Daniel Radcliffe is in this movie as Abigail Fairfax. Hilarious. Uh, Devine Divine Joy Randolph as Beth Hatton. I was trying to figure out where I've seen her recently, and I saw her. She was one of the cops or detectives in that new Hulu series, Only Murders in the Building or whatever. That show is hilarious. It's also
Never
got
seen it.
Brad Pitt as Jack Trainer. We also got Oscar Nunez as Oscar. It seems like that's his name in everything, dude. It's
Yeah,
just
it's just
Oscar.
Oscar. I
Yeah.
feel like it's in his contract to just be Oscar.
Pretty much, probably. It's probably so easy for him too. Who else we got? We got Patty Harrison as Allison, Bowen Yang as Ray the moderator. Okay, I don't really remember him in this movie. Stephen Lang was in this movie for like 5 seconds as the fantasy villain, and I mean that's pretty much it as far as like the
Yeah,
cast.
that's it. That's
That's
it.
it. Yeah,
That's
yeah, yeah. That's
nobody
it.
noteworthy. Nobody else.
Yeah, that's pretty much it.
If you want more, you can actually just go and look yourself.
Yeah,
Uh, but none of these people are noteworthy in any way, shape, or form.
yeah, pretty much.
Yep. Everybody in general.
Yeah. Do you want to do a recap of what this movie was about, or you want to just get straight into it?
Here, I'm gonna sum it up
Sum it up for
more
me, man.
more so than you already have.
Okay.
A shitty fantasy romance novelist um, is struggling to make a book after her husband's death and doesn't want to finish it. And then gets kidnapped because she is aware of the archaeological impact of the book she just published, and it could lead to a lost city with a uh, tiara or a crown or something like that, just made of diamonds.
Headdress,
And
but yeah.
yeah, and villain captures her to go and find it. She tries to escape, and her cover model for her books tries to go and rescue her. And that's pretty much it.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
Nothing. Pretty
Just
cut and dry, really.
yeah, it was pretty cut and dry. I mean, there's a lot of comical things that happen in there, but yeah, that's pretty much it. You know?
Yeah, that's like the just the basic version of it. You know, nothing
Yeah.
too over the top, nothing like that. Nothing crazy, really.
Yeah. Pretty much. You want to hop into your likes first? Or you want me to go through mine?
I mean, my likes really subpar. But yeah, let me jump into them.
All right, get up
One
in
of
it,
the
dude.
one of the main things that I really liked about this movie is just how beautiful. Like, I wish that I could say that every scene was beautiful, but not. There was a couple at the beginning, but once they actually got into the jungle,
Mm-hmm.
shit was beautiful. Everything looked great. I mean, most of it, I couldn't tell if it was CGI or they actually shot this in a jungle. And I do believe they did because I believe this movie took like 2 years to produce.
It was actually a lot of it was shot in a jungle. It was actually shot in the Dominican Republic.
That's what I thought. That's what
But
I
yeah,
thought I had seen, but I could be wrong.
there was
Um,
that was something I had in my likes too because yeah, was like the setting was very pretty and everything, but then yeah, some scenes were kind of obvious whenever it's like green screen. Like whenever they
yeah,
climb up the hill and they're standing on the top or the like the side of the cliff and everything, and he just
yeah,
wedges her head up her fucking ass to push her up and everything. Um
yeah. I mean, that one's gonna be
that was
obviously.
hilarious. But whenever they get to the top, it was pretty apparent that it was like them standing in front of a green screen and everything. But still, for the most
I
part,
mean,
it did look really
it
good.
still wasn't that bad.
Oh
It
yeah,
just there were points of it where it just was very obvious, and then there were other times when it wasn't.
yeah.
Some other things that I did like about the movie. I don't watch a lot of Sandra Bullock movies. The last one that I watched was probably The Blind Side.
Mm-hmm.
I did not watch the one where she was blind
Yeah,
and in a
Bird
boat.
Box. I
Just
never watched that either.
Oxbird. Uh, I assume it's exactly like The Blind Side because She was blind in Bird Box and blind in The Blind Side. So,
Yeah, she wasn't actually blind in Blindside, but that's okay.
okay. Oh, my bad.
Yeah.
Channing Tatum, um, pretty much just played himself like he normally does.
Yeah.
And I didn't hate it, but I honestly not over the moon about Channing Tatum. So,
Yeah, me neither.
for all of our women that are listening, I apologize in advance, but I'm just not a huge fan of him.
Good looking
Daniel
dude,
Radcliffe.
just kind of, I don't know. I'm sick of the funny character. I mean, he's funny, but he wasn't even
It,
originally who was supposed to be in this movie. I guess they originally wanted to get Ryan Reynolds to be in this movie, but they couldn't come to an agreement for their contract,
uh,
so they ended up casting Channing Tatum.
it would have been really funny to see um, him in it, but I feel like almost pretty much the same thing. It would just be Ryan Reynolds being Ryan Reynolds, but
Yeah,
it somehow might have made it more enjoyable, and I
maybe.
don't know
I feel
why.
like we would have gotten to the argument again, who was hotter, Ryan Reynolds or Sandra Bullock, but that's okay. We'll just
And the answer would still be Ryan Reynolds.
yeah,
Just
I mean,
and we can disagree.
yeah, we're gonna
Sandra Bullock back in
disagree.
the day might have gave him a run for her money,
Okay.
but as it stands, I just disagree with that.
Yeah, okay. I'm just
Um,
saying.
Now,
I
if you
think
ask me which one's more attractive, Sandra Bullock or Daniel Radcliffe, I might make a run for your money on this one. So, you know,
okay.
uh, Daniel Radcliffe was also in this movie. I think the last movie that I watched him in was The Swiss Army Man. Still a great movie.
Can't even
Um,
remember the last movie I watched him in. Probably the last Harry Potter movie I saw.
Probably the second Harry Potter movie
Yeah.
that you watched. That's probably it.
And then just cut it off
Um,
from there.
yeah. Daniel Radcliffe was fantastic in this movie. You never actually get to see him just be a bad guy in a movie, so that was kind of nice for once. I mean, I think actually, never mind. I think it was called The Lady in Black. It was a horror movie with him in it, and I think he did a movie called like Igor or something like that, where he played like Frankenstein's assistant or something like that. That one was pretty good. But I think Daniel Radcliffe did a good job in this movie. Um, One thing that I absolutely loved about this movie was Brad Pitt's character,
Yeah,
because he
he's
was
fucking
the
hilarious.
badass that
Yeah.
was like here to rescue the damsel in distress sort of thing. And then just like right after the rescue, just gets his fucking head popped like a goddamn grape.
Yeah.
And I was just like, you know what? That's probably my favorite scene in the entire movie.
Did you watch after the credits?
I did not know. I didn't even know.
There is an after the credits scene. I'm just gonna spoil it for you right now. Basically, they go to Channing Tatum and Sandra Bullock's characters go to the meditating place where he met him in the first place, and
Hmm.
they're meditating, and he's sitting behind them, and he has a wrap like a bandana wrap around his head, and he says something to Channing Tatum, and he turns around and he's like, "Holy crap, dude! I thought you were dead or whatever." And he's like, they say you only use like 10% of your brain, and he said basically I just kind of switched it to the other 10% or whatever. And they both were like, "Oh, we thought you were like dead," and he's like, "No, I'm fine." He's like, I had to come meditate because obviously I'm holding on to a lot of anger and mistrust. And he starts listing off all this shit while he's looking at Channing Tatum. And then the teacher tells him, like, quiet down or whatever. And they're like, well, we're happy you're alive. And they both go back to meditating. And then Brad Pitt's just like opening one eye, staring at Channing Tatum, all pissed off and everything. So he did actually live.
Yep, fair enough. I thought he
Just
got his brain splattered like
yeah,
a
I mean,
fucking
no,
omelet.
he actually did, but somehow he made it through that. Yeah, it's kind of different.
You know what? Good on him.
Yeah.
I'm happy for him.
Yeah.
Um, that's honestly pretty much it. That's what I liked.
I liked that they actually made the point because as soon as the movie started and she started talking about how her book's called The Lost City of D, I was immediately like, okay, sounds like a porno. Sounds like the D stands for dick. And they immediately dove into like, what's the D stand for, dick? And they made so many jokes about the lost city of D, especially Daniel Radcliffe whenever they're there walking through, the lost city that he dug up and everything. And he's like, The D was huge, and we only dove into just the tip of the D, and
We only uncovered just the tip of the D.
yeah, that's what it was and everything. That was fucking hilarious. I like how they at least like brought that up because immediately that's where my mind went. Unfortunately, because I'm still 13 at heart.
It's true.
What else did I like about this? I did like you said, Brad Pitt's character. Every time I see him, I think of my dad when he was in his late 20s and he looked exactly like him, and it's just crazy to me. But specifically when he goes, there's a train. I hear it. Everybody hears it. It's all
I don't
good.
hear it.
Specifically whenever he goes and saves her, and he's all badass, he jumps over the fence and he takes out all the guys, and Channing Tatum's just slapping motherfuckers. And then he goes to save her, and there's not enough time to cut her out of the chair, so he just throws her in the wheelbarrow, and they're running out of there, which I also read that they did in just one single tank. Fuck you, train.
Oh, I heard the train. I hear it.
Hit it, yeah. It's
Welcome
fucking,
back, train. This
they're
is the good old
bitches,
days
dude.
of beer
It don't
and a
matter
half.
what time it is. They hit that fucking horn 37 times every time. What was I saying? Oh, yes. So whenever he was taking her away in the wheelbarrow, they did that in one take. That's all it took. But specifically what I loved about that scene is when they're going, and you got Brad Pitt pushing the wheelbarrow, Sandra Bullock's in there strapped to a chair, and you just have Channing Tatum just holding her foot, just trying to like help out in any way, and he's just holding their foot as they're running away with all these explosions behind them and everything else. And I just couldn't stop laughing at that. It was hilarious to me.
Now that you bring that up,
Mhm.
I'm thinking about like every time like Brad Pitt's character just fucking annihilated somebody, and he just slaps him, and Brad Pitt's like, "Why did you do that? He was unconscious
Yeah.
before you slapped him.
He was
You-
already
you just
unconscious."
Keep doing that, and he did it like 3 or 4 times,
Yeah.
and that shit cracked me
He's
up.
like, I just want to get one.
And like just one guy comes in and he just slaps him in the face and just unfazed by it.
Yeah.
And then he fucking throws a chair at him or something.
It was pretty
cracked me
freaking
up.
comical, just that whole scene of him just trying to help out in any way and just absolutely doing nothing pretty much, but it was what it was. Something else I liked was Oscar Nunez's character. He was hilarious. I didn't even know he was going to be in this movie. But-
Just so everybody is aware who Oscar Nunez is, if you've ever seen The Office and you've seen Oscar from The Office, that is Oscar Nunez,
Yeah.
who plays Oscar in this movie.
And in almost every movie, it just seems like.
Yeah,
but
that's
it is
true.
what it
That's
is.
true.
Yeah, he's out there.
I
But
wonder if I can-
regardless,
while you look that up, I'm gonna look at his IMDb and see who he plays.
his character was just funny to me, just because he always plays like that weird, I don't know how to explain it, just kind of weird but very comical character. I love whenever she very first meets him or whatever, and he says if she can give her a ride, or he can give her a ride, and she asks him, have you ever murdered anybody? And he's like, no. And she's like, okay, I don't believe you, but we gonna do this.
That
He was
was
just
pretty
so
comical.
random and everything. But yeah, his character absolutely loved. Thought he was hilarious, and like I said, it was very surprising. I didn't even know he was going to be in this movie. What else did I like about this? That's pretty much it. I also liked how her fucking smartwatch lasted like 5 days on battery.
It's true.
Like that was the whole way the other chick was able to track her, was from her smartwatch, and not only did she never take it off, like I don't think she ever charged it or anything, and she's still just going ham, able to track her wherever she goes. Which is
In fairness,
crazy to me.
with my smartwatch, if you put on like the theater mode where you just tap the screen and it turns off, that thing can last like 3 or 4 days on a single battery, rather than
Jeez.
it just being on the entire time. But you would think like with the water scene, like, oh, that thing's soaked, it's done for. They're waterproof, or you can at least get the water out of them before it affects anything. So
Yeah,
good on it. But
Hey.
Yeah, true.
yeah. Yeah, that's pretty much all I had on my like. So I didn't have too much. It was a funny movie. Don't get me wrong. I liked a lot of scenes, especially the whenever they threw the dirt bike dudes over the edge.
Yeah,
When they like
yeah.
clotheslined him. I really like that. I'm gonna get into why I like that because I specifically did not like those motorcycle guys, and I'll get into that whenever we get into our dislikes. But yeah, I thought that was hilarious, and just the fact that like half the movie she's just running around in this onesie sequence dress, like through the jungle and everything with these like heel boots thingies on that he gave her and everything. It was just hilarious to me.
I mean, yeah. No, you're not wrong.
Yeah.
The biker scene just oof. Anyways, is that going to conclude your likes?
That pretty much does. Yeah, I don't really have anything else.
I am so ready. All right. So, just jumping into my dislikes real quick. The chemistry between Sandra Bullock and Channing Tatum, not there. Didn't see it.
There's
Didn't
like a
really see it at all.
16-year difference between them two, and I couldn't help but just like kept thinking about that every time they were like the whole dance scene where they're dancing.
Yeah,
I,
I
I did not
didn't
like
like that.
that, and yeah, I did, and I apologize to you because whenever I brought up this movie, you were like, "Oh yeah, that rom com with them two," and I was like, "I don't think it's a rom com. I think it's more of like a funny action movie."
I
And then as
I
I
watched
watched it,
it.
I was like, "Tyler was right. This is kind of a romantic comedy."
I and here's the thing. For everybody that's listening to the podcast, first of all, kudos to you. Make sure you're following our Instagram.
Yeah.
Shameless plug right there. But anyways, as soon as I saw this, I immediately, because I saw it before you had mentioned anything, because all things Daniel Radcliffe, I'm on board with. I'm on board with. That's why I watched some horror movies with him. But I saw advertisements for this movie while I was watching some other YouTube video, and I was like, this just kind of seems like a rom com that I'm not going to be that interested in. And then on the day where it's like, all right, let's do our podcast. Tyler, what time do you get off work? And I'm like, oh, 8 o'clock. He's like, oh, fuck. I got this movie for us. Let's do The Lost City. I watched the trailer for it and I was like, this looks like a rom com. So I don't want to do it. But, I didn't question it because I knew we had a day to make a decision. And at that point, maybe 8 hours. Because Garrett had to figure out a movie for us to watch while I was at work. And the first one he said, I was like, fuck it. I mean, at least it'll be funny. Worst case scenario. And yeah, because I'm all about watching newer movies rather than reminiscing in the past. So we did it. But yeah, totally a rom com. And
Yeah. No, it
I
was.
I just I knew after like like even if I argued that Miss Congeniality wasn't a rom com,
Yeah.
I'd be correct. It was just a comedy, just a comedy, just a
Hmm.
funny movie, and that's the last time Sandra Bullock made me laugh. She did that one movie with Betty White and Ryan
The
Reynolds. What was it?
proposal.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and that one was humorous, but I mean, didn't outright laugh. This movie was more or less like, it's funny, it's humorous, I guess. I mean, I don't know what you want. I don't know what you want from me. There was no chemistry between the two main characters, but yet somehow Daniel Radcliffe just did his thing and played a very convincing bad guy that was just like this whiny dude that just wanted to get what he wanted.
Yeah.
And he did a great job doing that.
He wanted to be better than his brother.
That's all. I mean,
That's
as
what
a
it
man
came
named
down to.
Abigail, I do
Yeah.
not blame him. And that's
What did he say
that
his
is
brother's name was? Leslie or something like that?
yeah. His brother's name was Leslie
Yeah.
Fairfax, and his name was Abigail Fairfax. And he was just like, "It's a unisex name. Don't question it." And like,
Yeah.
okay, cool.
The,
That
the
is
only thing I
definitely a
didn't
girl's
like
name.
about him in this movie, first of all, when he gets pissed, all of his veins in his face just pop out.
It's horrifying.
There was just one whenever they're on the boat, like approaching where, like I think it was like a cave or something like that. Yeah,
Yeah.
it was the cave. And he's standing on the front with the lantern and everything in the middle of the night on a boat in the middle of the ocean. I remember thinking, like, what the fuck does he think he's gonna be able to see just holding the lantern?
Who
'Cause
knows, man?
he had it held out in front of him and everything, like he was lighting the path and everything. I'm like, you're in the middle of the fucking ocean, man. Sit down. But it was
Yeah,
cracking me up.
I have no idea. This movie was kind of a little bit all over the place as far as like the storyline was very straightforward,
Yeah.
and that's something that I admire about
Hmm.
movies that just have a singular plot rather than these little subtle plots that you don't really catch unless you rewatch the movie.
Yeah.
And thank God for this movie, you only have to watch it once to know what's going on.
Yeah. No, definitely.
Um, but this movie just kind of they added little side things that were unnecessary for the movie.
Hmm.
Um, and like a weird dancing scene that just couldn't have been added. They could have just been listening to the woman sing, and ask about like the well of tears or whatever it was called, and then
Yeah.
just go from there. Just go from there.
Yeah, they had to
Um,
create romance between the two of them, you know.
but the chemistry just wasn't there. Can you
No,
not?
no, I
You don't.
agree. That's why I didn't think it was going to be a romantic comedy at all because I'm like, there's such a big age gap between them two, and I just could never see them two getting together and everything. And it just, yeah, no, I agree with you
Yeah,
though.
but like, you sit there and tell me like there was a movie that Chris Pratt did with Hunger Games bitch. Um,
Oh yeah, Jennifer.
Lawrence,
Yeah,
Jennifer Lawrence, and you're like, there's like a 15-year age gap in between them, and they're just full on making out, and there's a sex scene. Yep, checks out.
yeah,
But still, shockingly enough, chemistry between them. Ryan
yeah.
Reynolds and Betty White, chemistry between them.
I don't. Well,
Sandra
I
Bullock
don't
and
think
Channing
that's
Tatum,
true, but
I don't. There was none, and
yeah,
it just didn't make me involved in the movie or invested in anything about their relationship. I just liked that Channing Tatum was like, I think I love this woman, and Sandra Bullock's just like, oh, my dead husband, he would have loved this, or oh, he would have fucking, he would have. I wish he was here. And then by the end of the movie, she's like, you know what? Maybe I like this idiot next to me. I'm gonna
yeah,
leave my dead husband at this tomb where there's a seashell headdress that this rich snobby dude was after, and we're just gonna call it a day,
yeah,
and that's it.
yeah. Well, it's kind of the underlying like meaning of the movie and everything, but yeah.
Yeah, but it wasn't diamonds; it was seashells. So
No, I know it was the whole point that
that
it
was the
was,
biggest disappointment to me
but
because I
that
was like, dude, I am so excited to see this headdress made of diamonds.
that was
I
the
was
whole
like,
point. It was priceless to them because of it was like a
yeah, but for everything else, there's Mastercard, not a sponsor.
yeah,
Um,
no, definitely not.
So that's what my issue was because I was really expecting like a Goonies esque sort of. They find the treasure, the bad guy loses, they get all the money. She writes a best selling novel, and a movie.
Yeah,
Nope. Find a headdress, almost get burned by a volcano that isn't even affecting anybody else. And in other shots, volcano is super far away from them, but yet suddenly there is lava just pouring down right on them,
just everywhere. Yeah,
and the volcano is just right there. Nobody else is freaking out. They're all fine. They're chilling. And I didn't really get that. It didn't make a lot of sense, but I don't think it was meant to because it was more or less about the underlying meaning of the story involved and not any of the visual effects.
yeah, pretty much.
Anyway, I'm done complaining. What did you not like about the movie, Garrett?
I genuinely thought you had more than that. The
I do,
motorcycle
but
guys. I hated the motorcycle guys, and I'll tell you why.
tell me why, Garrett.
I
You
hate
hate
in movies.
motorcycles.
No, no,
You
no. It's
hate
not. It's not
40cc motorcycles. I
motorcycles
get it.
or motorcycle people and stuff
You
like
gotta
that.
watch out for them though when you're driving.
I
So,
just hate in movies when you have scenes where people show up and maybe it's cars, maybe it's motorcycles, maybe it has nothing to do with motor vehicles of any kind, maybe it's something else or whatever, and then they do the most like douchebag move ever. Okay, the specific scene I'm talking about is whenever he catches back up with that one guy that looked like freaking, that one dude looked like Kid Cudi to me, by the way, just entirely. The guy that was with him till the end, Daniel Radcliffe, and then he ends up leaving him the crowbar. That guy was Kid Cudi to me. Like he looked exactly like him. But regardless, is whenever he meets back up with all them, and then the two dudes on the dirt bike show up, two or three guys, I don't remember.
yeah.
And then they show up, and one of them does a sick wheelie in front of everybody.
Yeah.
And then they show up and they slide next to him and everything. And immediately I was pissed because I was like, the most douchebag thing you can do is just do a wheelie in front of the dudes and then slide next to him For no fucking reason. They don't care that you did a wheelie. Did you really think they're gonna stop and be like, "Whoa, dude, that was
Bro,
sick. Can
bro,
you teach me
bro,
that?
just imagine just
How'd
like
you
all the
do
bad guys
that?"
show up. Just with the dudes on the motorcycle show up, two of them get in line, the next one does a wheelie and just drifts next to him. Dude, that was sick, man.
Dude,
Why don't
that
you do
was
that more often?
so sick, bro. Yeah,
What?
and then you get fucking clotheslined by a fucking sequence dress, you idiot. And
What?
and then
What?
you run into another guy that just stops in front of a fucking cliff.
What?
So,
What bugs me so much about that motorcycle scene is if I was on a motorcycle and I was almost at a 45-degree angle hitting a turn, why the
mhm.
fuck would I be trying to grab a woman when I'm going like 30 miles an hour? I'm probably gonna break my arm before I actually grab the woman, and if I do, now I have to carry 150 to however much Sandra Bullock weighs. Now I just have to carry that straight vertically
Yeah, I
on the
don't.
side of my like. What was the point of that? Why
I don't know
I
what
do
his
that?
plan was. Obviously, he was a lot smarter in the wheelie department than he was in capturing
You
women.
yeah.
What
You
what
think the
he,
wheelie would really capture the woman, but
yeah, dude,
unfortunately it doesn't.
just fucking, yeah. I don't
You
know.
pop a wheelie with her on it, you kill her.
I don't know, but
So I mean,
I didn't like those guys. I don't like that. Like in movies, you know, when they're like, "Oh, dude,
oh
oh
no, yeah, yeah, I know what you're
here
talking
comes
about.
my crew" or something like that, and they fucking show up in the cars and they fucking pull the e-brake and like slide sideways and everything. I'm like, so
Bro, that's how I'm
bitch,
gonna roll
dude.
up to pick you up now. I'm just gonna roll up to your
Such a
house
douchebag move.
and just like drift in your lawn and pick you up. Like, hey man, you ready? Let's do the
Such
podcast.
Dude, this one time, one of my buddies, Nathan, he did that once at my mom's house. Everybody was out front and he pulls up. He was supposed to come over and he's in his green Honda Civic he used to have. And he, from the road, banks a right turn, pulls his e-brake, does a full 180 across my mom's lawn and fucking parks in the grass and then just hops out the car like it was the coolest thing ever. And I'll admit it did look really cool. But looking back at it, I'm like, such a douchebag thing to do. Such a douchebag thing to do.
Nathan's probably like, man, it's a good thing I don't listen to their fucking podcast.
Yeah, yeah, no. Something else I didn't like about this movie is whenever they crawl through the tiny tunnel. Did not like that at all. Nope.
I know you're claustrophobic, but to an extent. You're not super claustrophobic, but I
No, I'm
feel
not
like you would do
super
bad.
claustrophobic and everything, but shout out to them because literally there was that one scene where she's like barely able to stick her head through this one part. And I'm
Yeah,
like, dude, shout out to Sandra Bullock for being able to do that shit, man, because I couldn't have done that.
yeah. No, I don't think
That
so.
was
No,
too intense.
I don't think I'd be a huge fan of doing that. Not
No.
even in the slightest.
No, and I don't like seeing that. Like I remember there was that one movie, I think it was called like The Descent or something like that, where they're like,
Oh, is that they were the one they go in the cave and they find all those weird, creepy little alien things?
yeah, the creepy
Yeah.
little fucking, I don't even remember what, and then there's pool of blood and everything. Yeah, I couldn't watch that movie. I had to stop watching it about halfway through it because I was like, fuck this shit, man.
That's
This
I don't
is,
even like watching like spelunking videos.
yeah,
Like, oh, I mean, this might have been cool, but if that thing collapses, oh, now you're going through a 18-inch like flat way, and if that falls, you're just stuck. You will
yeah,
live as an albino cave monster for the rest of your life.
yeah. No, I'm not. No, I would never do that shit. Anyways, no. Anyways, though, that's all I had for my dislike. So I didn't really have anything else. It's pretty cut and dry
Overall,
for me.
overall, going into this thinking that it was not a rom com, after you left or had finished watching the movie, what did you think?
After I'd
Just
finished
overall,
watching
just
it,
kind of afterthoughts about the movie. Do you have
overall
anything?
wasn't terrible. I was very confused by the end of it. When they're sitting on the beach and all of a sudden Channing Tatum has a shaved head. I was like, why the fuck does he have a shaved head now? What's up with that?
Maybe it
And
said like 2 years later, so I'm assuming that they had published the second, like the next book.
oh, did it say 2 years later?
I believe it did. I could be wrong. Might have said
Regardless of the
6
time
months.
frame, still don't understand why he had to shave his head. That was weird to me. I didn't really understand the whole point of him having a shaved head all of a sudden. Kind of
Maybe
strange.
maybe
But
he was just ready to embrace his inner Vin Diesel, pop a wheelie, and just drift out of there.
just fucking, yeah, pretty much on his little fucking scooter he had.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can we talk about just? I know it's off topic, but that tiny little blue car that they had, that fucking, uh, what is his name.
Oh,
It
dude, I
was,
thought it was a Fiat, but I don't know. But that thing was sick.
dude, that thing was so tiny, and I guarantee you that thing had like the engine of a lawnmower in it,
Oh,
trying to
probably
carry
just some like
like
little 3-cylinder fucking engine in it.
yeah, and like that whole thing where they're just trying to get away from these bad guys that are chasing them. Fucking like it looked like your child's like little tiny go kart, the red and yellow ones that you would get.
Oh, do you pushy Flintstone that bitch? Yeah,
Yeah, and you had like the feet that you could just push it and then pop your feet up and keep going. Yeah, it looked like one of those bad boys, but for adults. And
yeah,
that thing was fucking wild because you're like, oh, dude, Brad Pitt's got this awesome ass fucking truck ready to go through the fort. Actually, it's the rental car that's like a little tiny McDonald's
yeah.
mobile.
It was comical to me too, because whenever they very first got in, I just saw Channing Tatum just take his fucking suitcase and just throw it on the roof rack and
Just,
not even strap it down. Then they just
just
drove off,
fucking
and I
throw
was
it
like, that
on
thing's
there.
gonna fly off.
Yeah, at any given time.
I will say,
Um,
oh, I didn't even think about this, dude. The fucking scene where he's got the leeches on his back. Now that was pretty funny. I laughed my ass off at that.
I got to see Channing Tatum's ass for way longer than I want
When
to,
I
though.
know, but I was laughing whenever he's like saying like they're fucking sucking out his butt like a jumbo juice or something like that. I did
Yeah,
I did think that was pretty hilarious. Just that whole scene. Now when he turned
just
around and showed her his penis, didn't really care about that. I was kind of just like, all right, well, let's just move on
how
about the
long do
day.
you like? We had to stare at Sandra Bullock's, or I'm sorry, I would have been okay with that. We had to stare at Channing Tatum's ass for like a solid 15 seconds. But do
Probably
you think
longer than
Sandra
that.
Bullock actually stared at Channing Tatum's dick for just that long, like while they were
I
filming?
don't I don't think his actual dick was out. I'm sure they probably had some sort of like fucking cover up thing,
They had like these little like they're almost like condoms, but they're
but
like
like for the
skin
whole
colored.
thing, they just kind of
Yeah,
tuck it and everything, just kind of
and
tape
I
it
was
between the
told
legs or something.
no, you don't even tape it. It's just like a dangling sock. Like
I
imagine you take an ankle sock and you just put it over your dick and balls and just walk around freely like that.
Okay, yeah. I mean that's different, but
That's
okay. I
I
did
mean
read
that's
that she said that that scene was actually they had to shoot that a bunch because she kept laughing. They both kept laughing at his
dude, just
jokes and
imagine
everything, and she said that he
just
was super chill about it though, and it didn't. He didn't make it awkward or anything.
just imagine Sandra Bullock just staring at your dick and balls and just laughing at you. Man,
Yeah. Okay.
I would quit acting just then and there. Just
That part
I'm
would.
done.
Yeah, that part would hit me hard.
That would hurt. That would
That
hurt a
would
lot.
hurt bad. Yeah. I did like his scooter though. I know we were just kind of talking about it, but his little that was a Honda Ruckus, dude. I've always wanted one of those. This little
Those
moped thing that he was driving.
those I mean those seem like they're in every like French comedy or I'm sorry, French romance movie or anytime just like this basic white woman goes to a foreign country, that's what they drive every
Yeah.
time.
Yeah,
And
those Honda Ruckuses though, they're sick, dude.
his I was just like, "You know what? Kind of badass." And he is fucking coming at them full force in a Honda Ruckus while they're in this armored tank.
They're pretty fast, believe it or not. They're
I
not. A
yeah.
buddy of mine used to have one, and I drove it a few times. It's pretty cool. I definitely get one. I want one bad, but it
The
is what it
only
is.
time I have ever drove on a fucking scooter was one of my buddies had one, and this dude is a giant. Like
Uh-huh.
he's probably 6'5", 300 pounds, and he owned a scooter because no car that he could afford was big enough for him to sit in it comfortably. He
Okay.
bought a scooter, and he was like, "This is easy. I just put my feet on it and drive." And
Yeah.
one day he was like, "You know what, Tyler? I'll let you drive." I was like, "We don't need to go anywhere." He was like, "I'll ride on the back seat, and we'll make this real weird." And so I was just going down a road, going like 20 miles an hour, and the fucking weight and momentum of a man while you're trying to take a curve, not fun. And we both fucking flew off and skidded like 15 feet, going about 20 miles an hour, just getting flung off that bad boy. And I was done after that. And we looked at the scooter. Scooter was fine. Scooter was brilliant. Never been
Yeah.
better.
Yeah.
But both of us had like fucking road rash like no other because we slid on concrete. We like cement,
Mhm.
asphalt.
Mhm.
And that fucking was the worst pain I have ever endured because like the whole left side of my body just like the side of my shoulder, the side of my leg. My shoe got ripped off. I was fucking done after that. So like, I avoid scooters at all costs. A dirt bike, fine, as long as it's just me. A motorcycle, again, fine if it's just me. I do not want another person on the back of a motorcycle with me, especially if I'm out here trying to pop some sick wheelies for the bitches, you know?
Yeah, dude. Or the boys trying to, be
Or the
cool.
boys, you know? I come over to
Touche.
see you on my Ducati and I fucking drift
Fucking
into your
just,
yard.
yeah.
Yeah,
Do a
you
fucking
know?
wheelie drift type thing, just get the best of both worlds.
I literally just pull up to your front door, hit the bell, and just rev it, and then just park it and
I
put like a little
answer it
bike
just
chain on it.
completely naked, fully erect, just ready to
No, with
ride
your
on the back.
just with the cock sock on, just hop on and like let's go. And then we're driving down the road, and you just somebody behind us sees the sock
Take me
fly away.
anywhere. That's fucking hilarious. That'd be a
Oh,
good like
dude,
ending to the movie. Just the sock flying in the wind. Hit
the
some
sock
kid in
flying
the
away.
face or something. Just
Just
fucking
like
sticks to his
two
face.
grown adults eating ice cream that they had just got from like a street vendor, and
Yeah.
just the sock lands on one of the ice creams, and they lick it, and that's the
Yeah.
end. That's
That's
Finn.
how it ends. Yeah. Maybe. Did
I
you
feel
have
like that.
anything you would have changed about this movie? Like
Eh,
specifically?
yeah, I mean, if they had changed the character, if they hired somebody that wasn't Channing Tatum, and someone more on par with like, I
I
don't know,
would have
man.
said yeah, either change Sandra Bullock or Channing Tatum. They're both hilarious in their own like perspectives and everything, and individually I do like them, but together, yeah, I will admit it's just I just didn't really see the whole
See,
either.
here's the thing.
Yeah, go
I
ahead.
feel like working with Channing Tatum would probably be super fun and enjoyable. You
Yeah,
know, you would almost borderline not get work done because you guys are having a blast on set.
mm-hmm.
Sandra Bullock seems like the type that takes it real seriously, regardless of it being a comedy. And
Yeah,
I feel like it would be difficult to work with her. Not horrible or unbearable. I feel like it'd be like, okay, we need to get things done this way, and don't even worry about it.
I bet she's chill.
I mean, I agree to an extent,
Yeah.
but I mean, I feel like there's I don't want to say like a comedy difference between the two, but there definitely is.
Oh, there is. I think there definitely is. They kind of approach it. I feel like just whenever they're in a more comedic role in movies from two different perspectives, and I mean, hey, good on them and everything. But yeah, I don't know. I understand what you're saying. The dynamic of the two just didn't really mesh well with me either. Yeah, I don't know. As the movie went on, it's just too much of an age gap. I mean, I know like, age is just a number, some people say, or whatever. But
Age is just a number if you're a pedophile.
I know how old Sandra Bullock is. Not saying how old she looks. I know how old she really is, and I know how old Channing Tatum is. So it's just, I don't know. It's just a little bit different to me. Yeah, I would have either said get a little bit of an older person instead of Channing Tatum, or get a little bit of a younger person instead of Sandra Bullock, because
Holy shit,
it was
Sandra
just
Bullock's like 60.
no, she's not 60.
I mean, like 50. She was born in 64.
She's 57. Damn, she's 57.
Yeah,
I knew
and
she was
then
in her 50s, but I didn't think she was 57.
Channing Tatum's like 42.
Not even.
Okay, 39.
Yeah.
I was off by. Oh, okay, I was off by a year. Fuckface.
Yeah, it's oh, Channing Tatum's 42. Okay, never mind.
Yeah, that's what I thought, bitch.
Okay. Well,
Um,
regardless.
but yeah, I mean that age gap, it just didn't mesh up well with me. But
Yeah,
I
I
will
get
say
it.
this: Sandra Bullock looks great for her age.
Oh yeah,
And
amazing.
fantastic.
Still think she's hotter than Ryan Reynolds.
That's an opinionated statement. It's
Just
not
once again,
factual.
I just feel like if you take Ryan Reynolds like the fact that he's funny away, I feel like they'd be pretty even.
Yeah, because Sandra Bullock is not funny, and I feel like he would have a better career as a serious actor. Like in some of his earlier work, such as Green Lantern.
Yeah.
Very
Also,
serious role for him.
yeah, no, but yeah, but no. No,
I
no,
don't
no,
think
no, no,
Ryan
no, no,
Reynolds
no.
has had a very serious role before.
I
All right.
can't.
You know what? You want to have this debate right
You
now?
cut out for
Fine.
me, so I couldn't hear you.
I mean, you want to have this debate right now? We can. I'm on board with it.
No, I
Give
don't
me a
want to have this
serious
debate.
movie. Give me a serious movie that Ryan Reynolds has been in that I can compare to.
Amityville Horror. That's the only movie I know of where he wasn't funny in any way, shape, or form.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, I guess so.
In fact, he was
Um,
like a crazy fucking dude in that movie. That's the only movie I can think of that I've ever really been able to think of that I saw him in where he wasn't funny. Even I remember fuck, what was that movie? I think it was like Ace of Spades or damn, I can't remember. Smoking Aces? Yeah, it was Smoking Aces. He was in that movie, and I think even then he was still pretty funny in that movie, but that was probably more of a serious role. He was like a pretty serious cop in that movie. That was actually a pretty good movie. The first one was. The second one was stupid as fuck. I want to watch that movie again.
I feel like I cannot find a serious movie that he has been in that I thoroughly enjoyed. I mean, I
Smoking
we
Aces is
did.
probably the one I enjoyed the most because I didn't like Amityville Horror, but I watched it.
I know, like the Adam Project, which we watched.
Funny.
No, you didn't watch that one, did you?
Yeah, I did. I did a whole
Yeah, I don't
podcast on it.
remember. I don't remember what we do for our podcast anymore. I can't
Yeah.
even tell you the last three that we did.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure one of them was the game that you were playing.
Uncharted.
Yep, that's the
Yeah.
one. Yeah, I just really can't think of any movies that he's been in where it's more of a serious role. Maybe Detective Pikachu, but even then there was funniness in it.
No.
Six Underground, maybe. Six Underground, maybe.
No, he was very funny in that movie as well.
That's true. He's just a great guy. Overall funny.
Yeah. Okay.
Anyways, sorry. Just so we're clear, Ryan Reynolds is more attractive than Sandra Bullock, and that's just a fact.
Okay. I don't think so.
Doing
but
it
yeah.
off of appearances alone and not their comedy, I would say yes.
Okay. Yeah. No, but okay.
I mean, give me another woman. Just give me another woman to compare this to.
Give you
me
another
another-
woman.
Yeah,
What
yeah.
do you mean by that?
Not Sandra Bullock.
That's hotter than
Another
Ryan
actress.
Reynolds.
Yeah, just give me somebody.
His
I need to know what
wife,
your
Blake
spectrum is.
Lively.
She is more attractive than him.
Yeah, way more attractive than him. Let's be honest.
Just hands down. That's factual.
Yeah.
But I mean, give me another one that's not his wife.
Okay.
That one seemed like you were shooting in a
Did-
shooting fish in a
it
barrel.
just seemed like the most obvious because I know they're together and everything. Another actress that's more attractive than Ryan Reynolds.
Yeah,
Just like it doesn't have to be a specific age or anything like that. Just like pretty
Nothing.
much
Just-
anybody.
pretty much anyone.
I'm trying to think of
ladies
one that I can think of some, but I'm trying to think of one that you would agree with me and not just be like, oh no, dude, no way.
No. I'm open to your opinions. I'm tired.
You would
And
think
I
that
am
the Kara
open-
Gillian chick is more attractive than him.
I would definitely agree to that.
Yeah, okay. So there's one.
I just enjoy redheads. That's just a thing. You just
Okay.
have to understand that.
So anyways, I'm now going to compile a list of just famous redheads and just only read them off so you have no choice but to just agree with me. And you just shot yourself in the foot with that statement. Thank you.
So we got Susan Sarandon, Allison Hannigan, Amy Adams, Conan O'Brien, Christina
Yeah,
Hendricks,
okay.
Rita Hemsworth.
We can't say that Conan O'Brien is more attractive than Ryan Reynolds. I mean, even
We
I
got
can say
Ed
that.
Sheeran,
All right, regardless, the debate is over. Okay,
Reba
we're not
McEntire,
going to debate this.
Rupert Grint, Jessica Chastain,
Okay.
Bryce Dallas Howard, Maladine Petch,
Went to high school with
Molly
Jessica
Ringwald,
Chastain.
Nicole Kidman, Carol Burnett, Ron Howard,
Okay.
and Margaret
Ron
Julianne
Howard
Moore,
definitely takes the cake, dude.
Prince Harry, Lucille Ball.
Okay, Lucille Ball, yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Can we just be done with this?
But I really feel like Julianne Moore is more attractive than Ryan Reynolds.
Yeah, I mean,
It's just factual.
depends.
I mean, I know we've had this argument before. A fake Emma Stone with red hair, not attractive. She looks like a cat. Don't know why. Anyways, that's all I got. Sorry. Anything you want to add?
No, that's pretty much it. I didn't really have anything specific. Like I said, I mean, you kind of went into oh, just the way they mesh and everything. That was really the only thing I would change about it, honestly. And then the motorcycle douchebag fucking taking liberties and doing a fucking wheelie in front of everybody, but it is what it is. Yeah, I don't really have anything else. That's really all I got, man.
All right. I mean, you want to wrap this up for me?
Let's just wrap it, dude.
Let's wrap it up. Um, I already deleted the outro button. Anyways, thank you guys very much for watching this episode of Beer and a Half Movie Reviews, episode number 16,
Yeah.
The Lost City of D.
Just a lot
For Beer and a Half,
yeah.
for Beer and a Half Movie Reviews, I'm Tyler.
And I'm Garrett.
Peace out, Girl Scouts.
Goodbye.
And stopping recording.